Write cleaner SwiftUI code with MVVM, protocols and dependency injection and test it like a pro. In today's tutorial, this is the app that we'll create. It enables the user to download a JSON payload and to filter through different types of events that are available in their city or location. As you can see, the user can filter by published and by draft. So if the user clicks on draft and swipe, you can see there are two different events, and then if they click on publish and swipe to the right, there are three different events. Also includes like some dummy buttons such as check-in and edit, which isn't functional, but you can implement the functionality in your own time. So the first thing we need to do is to create a new SwiftUI project. Welcome to iOS Insights, the channel for iOS app development using SwiftUI and Swift. Don't forget to subscribe for more Swift and SwiftUI tutorials. In this tutorial, we will add a few extensions, such as the network extension to enable our error messages to be retrieved from the view model and then displayed onto the content view, so that the user has an understanding of what's happening when they see an error message on the screen. We will also implement other extensions. So the first thing we need to do is to create a new Swift file. We will call this Swift file extension network error. We also need to create a function called toError object that will return an error object. The next thing we need to do is to include our conditions of errors that we can expect to retrieve, such as no internet connectivity error. So just type in switch self case dot no internet connection. And then we return the error object. And then within the error object, we have to include the actual error, which is as you're online, we could not load the latest events. Check your connection and try again. So that's one of the error messages. And the type of error is offline error. closing bracket on line 70, that's 17. On line 17, that should be moved to lines 18. The next error we need to validate for or capture is called server error. So we have to do what we just done previously. So we can copy the block from line 16 to lines 20. And then for the message, we need to pass in the following into the constructor, which is server error occurred. And the message type or the error type is server. The next error type we need to create is a invalid response error type. So we do this after line 26. And then rename no internet connection to invalid response. And then we pass invalid server response as the message or as a parameter. Invalid server response. The error type will be invalid response. And then the final error is key not found. And this normally happens if you include the wrong key in your codable payload, your codable struct. Or if the key is the incorrect case, for example. So you entered a capital letter, but really it should be lowercase. And then it comes up with key not found. So for the message for key not found, we will enter we could not load the latest events. Check your connection and try again. It's similar to the first error. Please check your connection and try again. You can see it's similar to the first error condition that we created on line 16. But I can always like reword your error messages if you want to. The error type will be error. Just seeing if there's anything else missing. I made an error. So the error is for the file type file here, it should be renamed to network error plus, like the symbol plus extension. So it's network error plus extension. The next thing we need to do is to create a enum. The purpose of the enum is to have different conditions that will include our errors, such as no internet connectivity, server error, invalid response, key not found, and then the error types such as case, offline, server, error, invalid response, or unknown error. And then when that's done, it will map to the network plus error extensions file that we created about 10 minutes ago. So let's go ahead and create that new file. Swift file, click on next. As I said, this file will be an enum. We can just call it network error. Click on create. So the enums for each of the errors, that's what we're doing now. Case, no internet connection. Case, server error. Case, invalid response. Case, key not found. We create another enum called error type. Case offline, that means the device is offline. Case server, the server encountered an error. Case error, a general error when decoding. Spelled case incorrectly, that should be CASE. Case, invalid response. And then the final case is unknown. That's when the error type is unknown or unexpected. So now, what do we need to do? I think we need to go back into the network error plus extensions file, and then let's compile it and see if it compiles or not. It cannot find error object. Let me see. That should be error objects. What else can't it find at the moment? Oh yeah, there's a bracket missing as well, I think. No, that's correct. It's in the correct place. Type network has no member invalid response. What did we call it? Invalid. Let me just copy it from here. Invalid response. We also need to create our error object class or struct, so let's do that now. And then we'll try to recompile. And the purpose of the error object is to enable the object to be stored in one centralized location, which is the error object. Each error object will include an ID. So for the ID, we use identifiable. Since we're using identifiable, we also have to generate a unique ID using new ID. And then we capture we store the error within the message property or variable. And also the type of the error type. So now let's recompile and see if it likes that. So it doesn't like the return error object message. Look for it. Switch. So switch must be exhausted. This switch cell case dot no internet connection. I'll just comment this out. Again. Switch cell. Let me just like there's an error somewhere. Stop connection. Return error object. I'm missing. Oh, it's a comma. Should be a comma there. It seems like I missed out the commas. So let me try to fix that. Into a comma here. Comma. Try it again. That doesn't like that. Try it again. Internet connection. I think that's been repeated twice. That might be one of the issues. So that should be server error. And the one on line 40, you can delete that one. And include the closing bracket. Yeah, that seems correct now. So now we should be able to compile it. Oh, there's another error, decoding error in scope. So where is that? decoding error. That's within the event service. Slow decoding error. Decoding. Oh, that's what the problem is. I spelled decoding incorrectly, so we should fix that. Compile it again. Yes, compiled. In the next tutorial, we'll be implementing more extensions. Don't forget to subscribe for more Swift and SwiftUI tutorials.